Tornadoes swirling with ferocious intensity, storms roaring with relentless force. Nature demonstrates its destructive power through these extreme phenomena. Thanks to resilient cameras standing firm in the heart of the storm, we can witness firsthand the moments when nature unleashes its fury. These breathtaking scenes leave viewers in awe, vividly reminding us of humanity's fragility in the face of the universe's unstoppable force. Let's dive in and explore. A massive storm swept across China, turning the sky into a chaotic canvas of wind and thunder. At a parking garage, the metal roof was suddenly lifted, with sheets of metal hurled into the air like raging waves crashing and surging. A fierce storm ripped a roof apart like a sheet of paper. It didn't stop there, ripping up the artificial turf on the tennis court and scattering debris everywhere. Another storm barreled into the industrial zone, ripping off rooftops like scraps of paper in the furious wind. The sound of metal clashing and the howling wind echoed through the area, turning the whole zone into a chaotic battlefield. The fierce storm and heavy rain forced people on the road to rush to the side, gripping onto large trees to avoid being blown away. With the winds howling, they had no choice but to cling to the trees, waiting for the storm to pass. In a remote countryside, the storm passed like a hurricane, blowing away roofs and sending debris flying into the air, creating a scene of horrifying chaos. The entire village was in ruins, debris flying everywhere, making it difficult for anyone to breathe. A sudden storm blew away the inflatable house in the garden, forcing the whole family having a picnic to run into the house in panic amid strong winds and thunder. The storm, with its terrifying destructive power, came like a raging storm, sweeping away everything in its path. Roofs, trees, and debris from everywhere were torn off, soaring into the sky, creating a scene of panic filled with life and death intertwined. The howling wind seemed to want to swallow everything, causing people to panic and run away, not knowing where safety was. A fierce storm suddenly came, knocking the container truck that was speeding down the road. The truck swayed and flipped over, creating a horrifying scene. At the same time, a small car traveling in the opposite direction couldn't avoid it in time, crashing into the accident right in front of them, causing chaos. A group of friends were playing volleyball. Suddenly, a storm came, causing the big trees outside the yard to be broken by the wind, branches, and leaves flying. Everyone panicked, running to find shelter, away from the pieces of wood and trees falling like missiles. The tornado roared in like a raging beast, sweeping away everything in its path, leaving behind devastating destruction and a suffocating silence in its wake.
Oh my God.
Typhoon Yagi hit Vietnam like a fierce hurricane, sweeping away everything in its path. Trees were uprooted and houses were destroyed, leaving behind only devastation and horror everywhere. The tornado tore the circus apart like a piece of paper in a frenzy. Colorful tents were torn apart, iron frames were broken, and screams of panic were heard everywhere. A car camera accidentally captured a terrifying moment. A giant tornado rolled forward, looking like a bloodthirsty waterspout, swallowing everything in its path, turning the scene into a haunting chaos. At the port, a violent tornado suddenly swept through, tearing away roofs and pieces of nearby buildings. Everything was torn apart, debris flying through the air, creating a chaotic scene in the sky. The wind howled like a beast, making the scene terrifying as pieces of urban debris flew like arrows in a storm. Near the shore, the tornado howled, sweeping up the seawater and creating a giant column of water that swirled up into the sky. White foam flew and the waves were sucked back, creating a scene that was both terrifying and enchanting, as if nature was displaying its absolute power. Camera footage of howling tornadoes and fierce storms sweep through, leaving haunting images. Roofs blown off homes, trees toppled, cars overturned in floodwaters. But amid the chaos and destruction, we learn a profound lesson. The power of nature cannot be stopped, but the damage can be minimized if humans are prepared. These images remind us of the importance of early warning, solidarity, and timely action, and raise awareness of environmental protection to limit future disasters.